Today we're going to look at replacing the clutch on a Stihl FS90 trimmer. A lot of times when you go to try to start it and you try to pull start your trimmer, the head will actually try to spin as you're pull starting it, and basically that usually means that there's something wrong with your clutch, and usually it's the spring is broke inside the clutch. So what we need to do is we need to take the weed eater apart. There's basically 3 screws that hold the shroud on. You remove those 3 screws. Make sure you've taken the spark plug boot off. Now you can carefully remove the shroud. There's 2 wires connected to the ignition coil. You can go ahead and take both of those wires off. One's blue and one's black. And then you need to take your throttle cable off as well. And then underneath you have 1 more screw on the bottom of the trimmer. Remove that screw, and that should remove the whole head of the trimmer from the shaft. And we'll pull it apart, and here you have the clutch. And as you can see, the spring in this clutch is broken, and it's pretty common that happens. So you need to remove the clutch. Here's our new clutch. You can see that's what the spring's supposed to look like as compared to our broken spring. What you need to do is get some lubrication and spray it on the screws. Sometimes they're really tight and it takes a lot to get them off. What you don't want to do is stick a screwdriver or anything in between the grooves on that flywheel, because if you turn it, it could break those off. You may need to keep spraying lubricant on there, and then you remove these 2 screws and your clutch comes off. Now there's 2 plates on the clutch. There's a front plate and a backing plate. As you can see here, this is the front plate. It's just sitting on there. It's resting on there. You can just remove that with your fingers. Sometimes this other backing plate is stuck on there. There's these 2 spacers in there, and sometimes you need to use a screwdriver to pop those spacers out. So I get a small screwdriver, pop that backing plate off, there's also 2 washers that sit on those spacers. There's one of the spacers, and there's the other spacer in the other part of the clutch. So get a small screwdriver and just push in there firmly, and those spacers should pop right out. So your new clutch, it usually doesn't have the backing plates or the spacers or anything, so you have to use the old one to put on the new clutch. So just take that backing plate and put your spacers in there with the small groove sides down first. And then put your washers on over the spacers. And then you can set it on a firm surface, flat surface. Don't drop the washer. Set it on a flat surface, and you can put your clutch right on there. It'll snap right on. And the front plate will sit right on there. Make sure the indentions are down so it sits flush. And then you just take your 2 screws and you put it back on. And put everything back together the same way you took it apart. And that's generally how you install a new clutch. It's pretty simple. It's easiest to turn everything upside down and put that bottom screw in first. That'll hold everything together. Now you want to replace your throttle cable, reattach everything. And then reattach your 2 wires to your ignition coil. The blue wire is the wire that goes closest to the muffler, and the black wire goes to the tab that's furthest from the muffler. And now you can replace your plastic shroud. Spark plug boot back on the spark plug, and then reinstall the 3 screws that hold the shroud on, and then we're good to go. And you've successfully replaced your clutch. Thanks for watching.